here's what nobody expected. Michigan State completely dominated the first half against Western Michigan, only to go completely silent when it mattered most in the second half. But somehow, they still walked away with a convincing 23-6 victory on Friday night in East Lansing. The Spartans' explosive start tells only half the story of what unfolded at Spartan Stadium on August 29, 2025. Running back Makhi Frazier carved up the Broncos' defense for 103 rushing yards and found the end zone once, becoming the driving force behind Michigan State's early offensive surge. The offensive line really created those openings and made everything possible for us, Frazier explained after the game, crediting his teammates for his breakthrough performance. But here's where it gets controversial. How does a team that builds a commanding 21-0 halftime advantage suddenly forget how to move the football? The Spartans entered the locker room looking unstoppable after Frazier and Tullis both punched in rushing touchdowns, while quarterback Aidan Chiles connected with Nick Marsh for a 7-yard scoring strike. Yet the same offense that looked so polished in the opening 30 minutes completely vanished after intermission. We simply didn't execute our responsibilities, Chiles admitted with obvious frustration. Sure, we secured the victory, so I can't be too upset, but our performance needs significant improvement moving forward. And this is the part most people miss. Western Michigan actually had multiple golden opportunities to make this game competitive, but they consistently sabotaged their own efforts. The Broncos turned the ball over on downs twice while operating in Spartan territory and watched kicker after kicker struggle, including a crucial miss from 46 yards out that could have shifted momentum. The visitors' most painful moment came when running back Jalen Buckley was stuffed at the goal line, essentially handing Michigan State a safety that extended their lead to 23-0 early in the third quarter. For a Western Michigan team that managed just 21 rushing yards from Buckley, a player who had accumulated 1,686 yards over the previous 2 seasons, this goal line failure perfectly encapsulated their offensive struggles. What I'm most proud of is how our players competed for the entire 60 minutes. Western Michigan head coach Lance Taylor reflected. They battled relentlessly and refused to surrender. I challenged them during halftime when we were trailing 21-0. It's natural to glance at the scoreboard and feel discouraged, then emerge from the locker room lacking energy and fight. The evening's most emotional moment belonged to 7th-year safety Tate Hallock, who began his collegiate journey at Michigan State back in 2019. Hallock intercepted backup quarterback Alessio Milivojevic and raced 32 yards into the end zone for the game's final score. How else would I want to conclude my final performance at Spartan Stadium? Hallock wondered aloud. I invested 4 incredible years here. Honestly, the greatest 4 years of my existence. This place holds such a special place in my heart, and I'll always bleed green regardless of where life takes me. Statistically, Chiles completed 17 of 23 attempts for 155 yards, including that touchdown connection with Marsh, though he did cough up 1 fumble. His favorite target proved to be transfer receiver Omari Kelly, who hauled in 7 catches for 75 yards. Kelly, who previously suited up for Middle Tennessee State and Auburn, finally found his rhythm in the Spartan offense. It's incredibly satisfying to receive chances to demonstrate my abilities, Kelly shared about his Michigan State debut. Tullis contributed 52 rushing yards on 7 attempts while finding the end zone once, forming a potent ground attack alongside Frazier. Western Michigan's quarterback situation remains murky after an underwhelming performance from both signal callers. Brady Jones managed just 11 completions on 23 attempts for 97 yards and threw 1 costly interception. Backup Brock Lowry fared slightly better with his efficiency, connecting on 5 of 10 throws for 91 yards, but neither player seized control of the position. Perhaps most telling was the Broncos' inability to establish any ground game whatsoever. Buckley, their proven workhorse, who had been so reliable in recent seasons, managed only 21 yards on 9 carries against a Michigan State defense that clearly came prepared. This represents an excellent foundation for our defensive unit, preventing any points from reaching the scoreboard, Michigan State linebacker Jordan Hall noted. However, we definitely made numerous errors and have countless areas where we can elevate our play. Looking ahead, Western Michigan will return home to face North Texas on September 6th, desperately needing to solve their offensive woes before conference play begins. Meanwhile, Michigan State welcomes Boston College to East Lansing on September 7th. Hoping to maintain their defensive intensity while rediscovering the offensive rhythm that made their first half so impressive. The big question everyone's asking: was Michigan State's second half offensive disappearance simply a case of taking their foot off the gas with a comfortable lead? Or does it reveal deeper concerns about their ability to sustain drives when teams make adjustments? And here's an even more controversial thought. Did Western Michigan actually outplay the Spartans after halftime, despite the lopsided final score? What do you think? Was this a dominant Michigan State performance that got conservative, or did we witness warning signs that opposing coaches will exploit in future games? The tape doesn't lie, but the interpretation might spark some heated debates among college football analysts and fans alike.